is up, everybody? J-Nell right back here the next day. Like I said, I would find the Canelo Alvarez Triple G fight number 2, and I would come talk to you about it, especially if I found it before Wednesday. And I did. So let's talk about it. Now, as we all know, Canelo Alvarez got the majority decision in his favor. There's a lot of controversy. It went all 12 rounds. Here's what I thought. Now, the first 6 rounds, I do think Canelo got the better of the first 6 rounds. This did not look like the first fight. This was a better fight, in my opinion. There was more action, more competitive. Normally with boxing fights, especially seems lately, like they don't even get going until like round 6 or 7, but this got going like round 2. So round 1 was very close. I would give it to Triple G, but again, that's one of those, it was the only filler out round. But I think that Canelo jumped right in there in round number 2, and he was coming forward. He didn't do his regular counter-punching style. He moved forward. He walked forward throughout the entire fight. This is something that we wanted from him, and that Triple G didn't necessarily meet him in the middle. He still didn't get quite going until like round 3 or 4. So the first, like I said, I give Canelo like the first 4 of the first 6 rounds. I think he just got going first. Now, Triple G did outstrike him. He landed more shots, especially with the jabs and things of that nature. But in those first 6 rounds, Canelo landed more devastating shots, especially the body shots. He landed cleaner shots. They took more out of him. They were power shots. And you never know what the judges are looking at, the ratio, whether 2 jabs to 1 power shot, 2 jabs to 1 body shot. You don't know what they're looking at. But with Canelo moving forward, with him landing the more noticeable shots, the more shots that knocked Triple G back. Plus, Triple G started to wane in the middle of this round. He seemed like a little tired throughout the middle rounds of this fight, which is something I don't think we saw from the first fight either. This was a closer fight than the first fight. I think everybody feels that way. Now, real quick, I thought that Triple G won the first fight. I did not think it was a draw. So, anyway. So, again, those first 6 rounds, the 6th round to me, Canelo won, but that was a close round. Some people are disputing that round. That round goes back and forth. Some folks have that one even. I can understand that, but to me, Canelo did win that 6th round. So the first half of the fight, I felt like Canelo won the majority of those rounds. I felt like Triple G started to gas a little bit. He looked a little tired. He was breathing kind of heavy throughout the middle rounds of this fight. 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8 around those rounds there, even though I do believe he started to come back. I think round 7 and 8 do belong to Triple G. He kind of fought the perimeter game. Because Canelo was walking him forward and was meeting him in the middle, he kind of changed up his game a little bit and was fighting the perimeter game. He had lots of jabs, like I said, but towards the last 6 rounds of this fight, he started to turn up the power shots himself, landed a lot of nice 1-2 combinations. Like I said, 7 and 8 is, to me, I think he really turned it up in those 2 rounds there. He really dominated those rounds. Not only did he land more jabs, but I think he actually met Canelo with the power shots too, and actually started to knock him back a couple of times. Seemed to affect Canelo, seemed to take a little gas out of Canelo there, starting with the 7th and 8th round. 9th round was a little bit closer to me. Wait, 7, 8, 9, and then was it? Yes, 7, 8. I thought the 9th round was a little closer. I'm trying to remember each round. I thought the 10th round with the Triple G. I thought the 11th round was close, and you could give that to Canelo. And then the controversial 12th round, where Triple G definitely started off that round winning. Then there was kind of a lull in the middle there, and I think Triple G finished strong. So I believe that Triple G won that 12th round, and 2 of the judges actually gave that 12th round to Canelo, which actually tipped this decision in his favor. So I don't know about that one. I think Triple G won the majority of the latter 6 rounds of this fight. So for me, I saw this fight as a draw. I thought this fight was a draw. And if I had to be pushed to pick a side, no, you have to pick a winner, I would have given it to Triple G. But I thought Canelo did better in this fight, and I think the case for him winning this fight is as much easier to make in this fight than it was in the last fight. I think Canelo, it's easier to make the case that Canelo won this fight than it is to argue for the draw in the last. You see what I'm saying? So for me, I'm just like, why didn't you just give Triple G the first, give Canelo this one, and then you get your rubber match instead of having this weird, now Triple G's at a deficit, because he's 0-1-1 instead of being 1-1. You see what I'm saying? And again, I think we all knew Triple G had to either knock Canelo out or have some devastating rounds with some knockdowns, some serious, dominant, not to be denied rounds in order to get this win. And so again, look at the way I'm talking about this. Well, why didn't you just give him the first and give him the second? I'm talking about like it's WWE. Like, and then the narrative of, because Triple G said that he was going to do Mexican-style boxing and didn't. That they're holding that against him. We saw Andre Ward and a couple of other champions say that part of the reason why they feel like Canelo won this fight is because Triple G called out the Mexican-style boxing and did not meet Canelo in the middle. Instead, changed it up into a perimeter game. So what you're saying is, because he didn't win the way he said he would win, he lost? Well, that makes no sense at all. That makes no sense at all. If you don't win the way you said you was going to win, but you won kind of technically, but you didn't win the way you said you was going to win, we're going to give it to the other guy? That makes no sense. I mean, I do mostly MMA. Plans change all the time. You go in a fight thinking someone's going to do this, they do that. You got to change your game plan. You got to find a different way to win. So that's just absurd to me. And again, a couple of champions said that. I'm hearing that as some of the excuses as to why Canelo, what pushed him over is that because Triple G called out the Mexican style boxing and then didn't do that. But if he won, he won. He either won or didn't win. So that is absurd. It makes no sense. And if that's part of your reasoning for giving it to Canelo, you're ridiculous. Anyway. Again, I guess I want to see the third fight because this was actually a good fight. This was better than the first fight, more competitive than the first fight. Like I said, to me, this was an actual draw, and the first fight should have went to Triple G. So, and if you wanted the trilogy match, because of course they asked Triple G, well, it was so close with the controversy. Do you think you're gonna have a third fight? And he said yes. He said probably not in Vegas, which I think is a good idea. But that's sad that we have to say that. You got to go to a neutral grounds to win this fight because we know boxing wants Canelo to be the face of boxing. That's kind of ridiculous. Come on, get some of your credibility back here, boxing. Come on. You could have did this without it being so blatant. You could have gave Triple G the first, Canelo this one, and then had the rubber match. But anyway, let me know what you thought of the fight. That's what I thought. I thought this one was kind of a draw. And if I was pushed to say someone had to win, that I would say it was Triple G. But again, that's just what I think. Let me know what you think. Let me know. Try to go round by round like I did any injury updates. The trainers were, of course, jawing and japping and going on. So let me know any new information. And follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I will have a 15-second recap. I'm on Snapchat now. Subscribe, like, talk to me. Take care. And goodbye.